Lucas had gone off with Gonkumon, riding Trailmon Franken to their next destination, with Gizamon saying that he'd heard that the knights lived at the castle of Yggdrasil, and asked if that was true or just rumors, to which the royal knight then told them that it is true that they stay there. However, they have homes in the castle town and don't actually live at the castle itself, and that Yggdrasil calls upon them when needed. Lucas looked out the window, curious to see what this castle town would look like, since he'd never been to a castle before, and was wondering if it would be how he imagined or not. The knight took notice of this and asked if he was excited to see the castle, to which our Digidestin then said that he was, since he'd never seen a castle in real life before, and so was curious what it looked like. Surprisingly, this didn't take long for them to come to the castle town, where they left the Trailmon car with Gonkumon, seeing that it was a bustling and lively town where a lot of businesses were prospering. Nothing like Crystal Town, this place was thriving, and it was surprising that they could be doing so well with the war going on and all. The knight told them that they were going straight to Yggdrasil's castle. The castle was large and appeared to be made out of shining crystals, with Gonkumon leading the way into the courtyard, where they heard explosions and clanging metal as they saw a large Digimon made up of swords fighting with someone that had a leopard theme to their armor. Gonkumon had walked over, saying that they were getting to it early today, and called them Jessmon and Duftmon. The knights called off their training for now and came over to greet Gonkumon and the person that he brought with them, introducing themselves, and Lucas introduced himself and Gizamon to the two. Gonkumon told them that Jessmon was his son, and he was going to grow to be the greatest of them all someday, embarrassing the Digimon that was a walking arsenal of blades. Lucas asked if they were going to meet Yggdrasil and where the other knights were, though Duftmon told him that the other knights are on mission. They would need to prove themselves before gaining an audience with their king. He wasn't going to acknowledge them as a comrade until he proved himself, and they had just the mission for them to join in on, to prove that they are allies to the knight. Our Digidestin then questioned what mission that was exactly, and Jessmon said that some of the Mao army were overstepping their boundaries and trying to lay claim to a town in their territory. They were ordered to dispose of them and reclaim the city that they were occupying once any other knight came back, so that Lord Yggdrasil was not left unprotected. Though Gizamon reminded them that they just got here and it was a long ride, while stretching on his 3 legs. Duftmon said that it figures Gonkumon would find a useless couple of followers, annoying all of the others, including Jessmon and Gonkumon himself. Lucas then tells the knight that they are mistaken, though they don't seem scared, and said to impress them. Our Digidestin then digivolved into Wyvermon, flying up into the air, ready to do just that. Though Duftmon was surprised that he could become a Digimon, they decided to give them a test. The knight charged at Lucas in a flash, and our Digidestin barely had time to be able to avoid their blade and kick them in the side with the sole of his foot, knocking them downwards before unleashing his dragon's breath upon them, covering Duftmon with his blue-colored flames, catching Jessmon by surprise that he was fast enough to keep up with his fellow knight, who bolstered incredible speed. Duftmon then swung their blade, dissipating the flames around them, and said, "Not bad," looking up at Wyvermon before continuing, saying that they may prove to be a worthy ally yet. But enough games, they had a mission. Go or don't, the choice is up to them. Wyvermon then flew down to Gizamon, who told them to save it. They'll go wherever they do. He's their partner after all. Lucas then nodded, reverting back to human form. Instead of going on a Trailmon, they rode on an older model Locomon. The travel wasn't long, and they soon found themselves at a place literally called Border Town, where they would be going after the Digimon that were causing problems there. The citizens seemed to be happy to see the royal knights had come to their aid, praising Lord Yggdrasil and the knight for answering their call. Jessmon said that it was their job to help save everyone after all before hearing an explosion as a large Digimon that looked like a black and red skeleton appeared, and then another, then a third. There were 3 of them in total, calling themselves Skull Satamon brothers, and saying that they weren't afraid of only 2 knights before ordering their followers, who looked like Monochromon but red in color, called Virilimon, to attack, with there being 9 of those starting to rampage. Lucas and Gizamon both began glowing as the frog-like Digimon began to grow in size and changed form, though instead of becoming Tobiumon again, they changed into Dark Tyrannomon, ready for battle. The Skull Satamon ordered the Virilimon to attack, with Lucas digivolving to Wyvermon again, and calling out to leave the small fry to them, just focus on taking out their leaders. Jessmon nodded as he and Duftmon then charged forward, taking on the leaders, leaving the Rhino dinosaurs to Lucas and his partner, who began fighting them as they charged forwards, with Wyvermon flying into the air and Dark Tyrannomon knocking one of them over with his large and powerful claw before unleashing a Fire Blast attack, while our Digidestined used his Dragon's Breath to fight.